What's up guys, I'm Luke Bonifant, and today I'm going to be talking about how I changed my own oil. I know. If you guys have been following my channel since last year when I got my 911, all of the service that has been done, or for the most part, every major service has been done, even the first oil change, because I put the deep sump on, was done by a shop. But for this time, I made it a point that I was going to change the oil myself, because not only does it save a lot of money, but it is valuable knowledge, and it's not that hard. And I had planned to do my first oil change by myself, but I just decided that I'd have them put in new oil when they did the deep sump. So that was my first 6-month oil change, and then the next 6 months came, and if you guys have seen some of my recent videos, the car didn't start. So it had been about a week or two over when I was supposed to change it, but yeah, it didn't end up running for another month and a half. Or almost 2 months. But last week, I got a call from Porsche Monmouth, and I'll go through sort of in a different video what the cause of that was. I now have a working Porsche, and it needed an oil change desperately. It had been 7 months since it had been changed and 5,100 miles, and that's more than enough. So I took it up to a friend's house. John, if you're watching, thank you. And he helped me by sort of giving the knowledge that he had of doing oil changes on other cars, and helping me figure out my jack points and all that. And together we read a run list for him, and I did this oil change. It was a lot easier than I was expecting, in the way that it's really just, you need a torque wrench, and there's 2 points that you need to unscrew and screw back in. The oil filter, you just pop the old one out, clean the inside of the filter housing, put the new one in, and boom, it's done. Drain plug, take it out, clean it, change the washer, and there you go, it's back in. And so, yeah, and I know there's a lot of debates on like the ways that people change their 911's oil, but I did it the simple and proven way, and yeah, the hardest part actually was jacking up the car, and this is why it was harder than I thought it was going to be. Because the engine being in the rear and having that 6139 or whatever weight balance, you have to jack up the front using the rear on both. Well, basically the way that we found was the easiest to do it with 1 jack and 4 jack stands is to one side of the car at a time, right? So we did the front right first by putting the jack under the point that's right in between the passenger side rear wheel. And once that was done, we slowly let it down, and there's another jack point on the rear subframe right behind the rear control arm. And it's a very flat, very stable point, and when you lift it up from there, you can put another jack underneath that other side, and then you sort of go around in a circle until it's done. That's the method, and it worked. And then, you know, you repeat the process just backwards, coming down one side at a time, and boom, in about, well, for the first time it was about 2.5, 3 hours, but typically it'd be about an hour and a half, maybe, and you've changed your oil on your Porsche 911. Now, another debate that pops up a lot is what oil to put in these 996s. I have a car with over 160,000 miles on the original engine, so I went to 5W50 on my last change, and I went with Mobil 1, and it was okay, the European car formula Mobil 1, but the Castrol seemed like a better option to go the second time, and I might even switch to, in the summer when I can, go 2050. I know that's thick, but the Valvoline VR1 oil is really just, it's great. I just had it put in the Stealth, and that is a very smooth, very robust oil with a lot of zinc, which is always good for the engine. So right now I have Castrol 5W50. It's their new titanium technology oil that's in there, but Porsche recommends for high mileage that you put 5W50 in these. That's what I'm putting, and yeah, and because of the deep sump, I needed about 9.5 quarts to fill it up, and now we're okay. So thank you guys for watching. That's a little bit of a tour of my, or a little bit of a walkthrough on my oil change, and the next time I do it, 6 months or probably less, because when the weather changes I'll do the next one, I will document it on video, and with a little bit more knowledge I'll be able to do that, but for the first one I just wanted to focus on learning. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. It is after, well, it's before Thanksgiving, but after Halloween, so Christmas mug is customary, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, camera. It did what it needed to.
That didn't look so well planned. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. But you just made a weird face like, oh!
It all came down a little quicker than I wanted.
It's all right.
Got my glove on. Got my filter here.